Alright, so I'm going to show you what I've done so far with my Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. I got the 2.8 capacitive touch screen from Adafruit. I also got a 1200 milliamp lithium ion battery, and I've kind of got it wired a little bit so I can unplug it and then connect the battery into a USB cable that I have so I can discharge it. Probably shouldn't be doing this because I have no way of determining whether if it's fully charged or not, but I guess I'll have to keep an eye on it. So we got a few little tricks that I've done to it so far that does not come factory with the Noobs operating system. So I am going to show you a little bit of what I've done so far with it. So I'm going to go ahead and power it up, plug this bad boy in. If it lets me do it with one hand, there we go. Alright. So right now you can see it's loading some stuff on the HDMI. I don't have to have that plugged in. It would just do that in the background, and then eventually it would show that. Okay, it's going to get to a little, I have it set to boot into the command so I can decide whether if I want to boot from the screen or the operating system itself, the GUI on here, or on a TV. Now, by default, it will only do the TV, HDMI. When you have a screen like this, you actually have to go in and set up some commands to get it to work with the LCD, but then it would only do the LCD by itself. It wouldn't go back to the HDMI. So I had to do some tinkering to get it to work, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you HDMI first, the TV, and then I'll show you something else, then I'll reboot it, then I'll have it boot from the LCD without modifying any configuration files. So, sudo space start stat, might want to change that, start x dash dash space dash layout space HDMI, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got. Sudo start x space dash dash space dash layout HDMI. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now you can see the TV starting to do some stuff. Alright. So I've got my USB keyboard and mouse plugged in. I can do some stuff here. Go on the internet, whatever. It's not a very fast operating system, but it does the trick. Let's get out of this real quick. Now, along with the 2.8 inch capacitive touch LCD screen that I bought from Adafruit, it came with a board that it's already connected to. You just got to basically plug the chip into the pins on the board. And I had to buy some buttons. As you can see here, these did not come with it. I have not soldered them in yet because I have not figured out if I'm done tinkering yet. So I set it with a command. When it recognizes that I press this button, it's supposed to shut down. Now, this is what happens. Reboot, power down, and it just stays there. Stays there. As you can see, I have no more start menu. Can't move my mouse around. It is technically shut down, but for some reason the screen is still on. The light is off even. So I think it's just being powered by the power itself, and it's just left. It's a ghost. So technically it's off. But if you have a battery, it's going to kill your battery. So that's something to keep in mind. Alright, now go ahead and press the button again. It should turn it back on. And it is. Okay, it's going to go through its thing again. And then it's going to move over here. And I got my command prompt again. Now obviously you can change it to where it just goes straight to the operating system and you don't get this. I'm doing this specifically so I can decide whether if I want to boot from HDMI on the go or somewhere else, or if I want to boot from this screen while I'm in the car or something. So let's do this again. Sudo space start x space dash dash space dash layout space TFT. Go ahead and zoom in so you can see that. Looks good to me. Go ahead and hit enter. Now it's going to boot from this screen, and this is going to stay there. If I didn't have an HDMI, that wouldn't be there. So now I can do some stuff here. Obviously this is a very, very small screen. 2.8 inch is not very much to work with, so everything's kind of cluttered here on your start menu. But it works. It's good enough to do a couple quick little things here. Maybe if you were going to run Kali or something and do some sniffing, this would probably work quite well. It's kind of hard to navigate stuff, but gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and power it down again, or kinda. Alright. If you have any questions, feel free to post to my video and I will try to reply as best I can. I'm going to try to include some links too that you can follow for doing what I'm doing. Make it a little easier for you, but aside from that, have fun tinkering.